Flip the camera back around to me. Give this little wipe off in the corner here. Wait a few seconds to make sure it actually connects and everything and we don't lose the beginning of the stream. Anyways, hey YouTube. I am walking home from my work at Dollar Tree again. I think I was going to do a specific video about this, but I haven't yet. Don't know what will happen, but I'm back at Dollar Tree because I'm saving for sound foam. And then there were a few other things that I thought about staying a little bit longer and saving for. Some other equipment. But recently I've started contemplating a new camera. And this came about when I have a video that I'm going to be uploading either tonight or tomorrow. It's finally the video where I am testing or comparing my old speakers to my new speakers. And let me say, when I looked at that footage on the computer for the first time, it was really grainy. That was shot on my Sony HX99, which I did a little bit of research, and yeah, it does have a small sensor, and that small sensor means that you are likely going to have to use a high ISO to get good brightness in your shots, and then that is going to in turn lead to a much noisier video, where you've got like noise flying around it, and it didn't look that great. Now, on the post that I was reading about this, which this was just kind of a reminder, you know, connecting in my brain, oh yeah, small sensor, it's going to be noisier. It's noisier than I remember it being. Someone said, you know, there's a reason why film is associated with a lot of light. I don't want to have to break out my lights every single time I film something. But, yeah, I do recognize that you need some light. I would think that the light just from the ceiling in my studio could be enough for just a quick turn on and film. But apparently not with this sensor. I think it was like a 1/1.35 sensor. I don't know what those numbers mean. I just know that it's not a 1-inch sensor, which other cameras like the RX100 have. And like I think the first RX100 had that, but definitely some of the later RX100s had that. Now, I recognize that maybe just the light from my studio wasn't quite enough. I found out pretty quickly, like, years ago, testing with a way worse camera. It was some, I don't remember if it was a Fuji camera or what, but it's the one camera that my mom had that looked like a DSLR, but it was like a fixed lens and just not very good. The one where, like, for some dumb reason, if you zoomed in before filming, then you couldn't zoom out afterwards, or no zooming while you were recording. I don't know. I forget what that one was. So what else is there? Yeah, so I've used way worse, but that lighting was also a lot worse too. That was like a regular incandescent bulb. I forget how many watts, not a very bright one. Looked bright enough to me. I could see in the room in our basement. But no, this is a lot brighter in my studio. Maybe I need it just a little even brighter. And I'll just put some even brighter light bulbs for just regular filming. I don't know. But I don't want to have to set up my light every single time I'm filming something unless I want it to look really nice. And this was like a speaker test video. It just needed to be quick and simple. So this was a lot grainier than I'm wanting. So I'm looking for something that has kind of a bigger sensor, you know. So like maybe the RX100 Mark 7, which actually that apparently has 3.5mm audio input, which that would be really exciting, because then I would have better audio a lot. Because I don't like having separate audio. That's tough and annoying to deal with. And then you get syncing issues sometimes. Like, I don't know why, but like my audio, and maybe it's just the waveform, but like in Pinnacle Studio 26, which is what I have, like audio that I import from either my Zoom recorder or that I recorded in Audacity for the speaker test video, it will be a little bit off from what the waveform looks like from my camera. But what was really puzzling from the video that I shot the other day with my speakers was that partway through it got like way off, and I think I didn't like save the project, but I still have it open, so I want to go back if I remember to and check a few things just to see why. But like partway through it was so off that you could actually notice an echo or something, and that wasn't good. Fortunately though, because I had my microphone behind me pointing away from me, that was okay, because for that section I was using the camera audio. The microphone audio was just for the sections where I was showing off the two speakers. So I want something with a bigger sensor, but I also want something that has a pretty good zoom range, because the Sony HX99 has a 20 to 720 millimeter zoom range. So like you see the mountain up there, I mean I can do this. That looks pretty terrible, right? Yeah, but you would actually be seeing the leaves of the trees if I had that camera on me right now and I zoomed in. And whew. So I like that zoom range, and there's been a few instances where I have wanted a zoom but then not had it. I forget what they were. One of them actually might have had a zoom, and then I just used it. But I remember this was for the music video that I started but never finished with my ex-girlfriend. The one for, I think it was my song Hoka's Wave. No, sorry, not Hoka's Wave. Whatever the other one was that I made in Magic's Music Maker. I'm like, I want this. And the people I had recently met who said they liked my channel, they wanted to help me out. There's Colby, and I think Ryan might have been in that group. I forget who else. When I explained the shot that I wanted, they said, I don't know if we have a zoom lens, we'll have to see. Which brings up a very good point. The new camera that I get, I'm totally fine with it having lenses. And I probably should go for something that would have interchangeable lens system. So if I ever want to go down that road, if I ever find that's where the next thing to try creatively, I can do that. So I don't know, like maybe an A-series camera from Sony. I don't know. I'm almost a Sony fanboy. Well, nah, I wouldn't say fanboys. Fanboy's not quite the right word. I don't have everything Sony, but I like Sony. I've used Sony. The HX99 is a good camera. It just gets a little fuzzy under the lighting conditions that I was in. And so, or sorry, not fuzzy, noisy. Lots of noise flying around the video. So I've been thinking a little bit about what is it that kind of drew me to the HX99. And I remember seeing the RX100, and it's better for low light. And low light was one thing that I really wanted back then, because I can look better without having to set up lights. But back then I also wanted a camera that was just good at like everything perfectly, which that's not a thing yet. There's always going to be some trade-offs. So, but I liked the zoom over the larger sensor. That would do a little better in low light. I figured it would be good enough. And it kind of has been. And that was actually back with the HX90V. But then I upgraded to the 99, which I think the V actually might have looked a little better, in my opinion. I'm not positive. I want to compare and see. Seemed like it was a little less noisy. I'll have to see if either of my friends have the ones that I gave them. Either, there's Ammon who lives next door, that he has my old one. I gave it to him. And then there's my friend Adam who has the other one. And as things warm up, I want to just go out and like do a bunch of test filming for things. because that will help me determine some things about the camera that I currently have, how I can use it better, and if I think about getting a new camera, that's going to very much be I will see if I can rent the camera, or I'll make sure that I'm able to return it if I don't like it, and I'll do testing that way. Because these people do tests in their own cities, wherever they're, their own conditions. They have their own setup. I don't know how it is for my setup. It's easier just for me to say, I know this, let's shoot that, and see what it looks like. And, let's see, what else do I need to say in this video? I mean, alright, well, I'm trying to think, because it seemed like there was something else that I liked about the HX90V, and then of course the 99 over the RX100 series. I don't know. I think it was just the zoom that I liked, and I wanted more than what the other camera had to offer. And so I still would want that. And I don't know what kind of a lens comes default with the other cameras that have interchangeable lenses, but I'd probably get a zoom lens immediately. But, you know, I could run with the lens that already comes with them. But the other thing, too, is I'm not doing a lot filming-wise yet. I want to do more, so maybe I should wait and just do with what I have and make better stuff that way. But then, at least just to me, for myself, I've already feel like I've proven myself with Airborne Death, which that actually ties into this, and I may talk about this in another video too. But like that for me is like, yeah, I just have a lot of knowledge that I've occurred over the years watching YouTube videos on filmmaking that I'm kind of just waiting to use on my next project and be creative with. And so, I mean, I could just do that with my camera, but I want it to look nicer and be easier. But at the same time, I'm not trying to go for the best. I'm not trying to save up my money and buy an expensive red camera. No, thank you. I probably won't ever have a red camera. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that I don't want one or any of the other expensive cinema cameras. There's ARRI, Alexa cameras, anything like that. Aside from their size, I'm not opposed to using them. If the opportunity ever presents itself, that ever becomes the next thing to take my projects to the next level, then I'll do that. So what else? I think that's mostly it for this video. There was one more thing I was thinking of. Oh, yeah, so I need to mention the thing with Airborne Death, too, is, I forget if I was shooting on the 99 at that point, or if I was just using the 90V. But especially in the beginning, the dynamic range is not very good with that camera. I think it's slightly better with the 99 than it is with the 90V, because there's the shot of Lily walking home, and it's under the trees. So underneath of the trees, the house I used to live in is, what's the word? And Lily, those are all exposed in focus. Well, no, yeah, they're correctly exposed. But everything else, it's not. It's just completely a blown out mess. It looks kind of terrible. And with this film, it was me trying to actually manually pick the camera settings, because supposedly that looks better. I think automatic does a really good job now, and I often shoot in auto. Like, there was some video I did about my studio a couple of months ago, and like an update or something, I forget what. And like, I went ahead and I manually picked settings first of all, and then I looked at the viewfinder to see what it looked like, and then I did automatic. And there was maybe a slight difference, but I decided to go with automatic and trust whatever Sony coded the camera to do. And I don't know what the results would have been like for Airborne Death if I had done that, but that's why I want to get out and really test dynamic ranges of the HX99, see what it's like, what kind of things I noticed, get better familiar with my camera, and that'll answer some of my questions, but I definitely want to look for something that's going to be a little bigger and better. The 99's not going away, and worst case scenario, I would get like an RX 100 Mark 7, which I think doesn't do as good in low light as some other cameras out there, but something like that. And then I'd have the 99 for other shots where I need the zoom range, because I think I could make them look relatively similar. And I watched a video recently about I think it was for the film Whiplash, and then there's also like the short film version of it, and why it looks more like a short film, and there's like some of the color grading and the set design stuff, little things like that to pay attention to as well. Or also the Coen brothers, the ones that did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? They had done this big huge production, but then not a lot of people liked it. It kind of lost the money. They went back and filmed something simpler. I think the script must have been like a little better or something that people liked, and they filmed it on a camera that had a stuck pixel in the middle and didn't look as good. People loved that one. That's what I'm trying to remember. People loved that, and last example I'll give here, even though I am definitely getting a new camera, but I'm still in between. Then I can try and work towards doing little films and things when I get the chance. I always am. But I think I've been messaging a few people that I know in film camera stuff to see what kind of cameras they use, any suggestions they might have. And I messaged the Joe Puente from the Utah Film Association, I think, and a great guy. He doesn't know a whole lot about cameras. In previous conversations I've had with him, he leaves certain things to the professionals in that field. He's more of a producer type, and that's great. I totally respect that. It does mean I have to take a step back every once in a while when I hear that sort of a thing, because I get so focused in the, I'm going to do almost everything on the production except for some of the acting and whatnot, because that's how I get my films done. I'm a one-man band. Not against working with other people, but that's just how it's been, how I've been able to do anything. So I have to step back and remember, there are people who don't know a lot of everything and they defer to other people. But the thing that Joe said is he would trust a professional with an iPhone over an amateur with a Red Cinema camera. And that makes a lot of sense, especially when you consider that phones have a lot of really good image processing that make up for their sensor size. And no, I don't want to shoot on a phone because of a lot of the limitations that they have. I need a full camera for some of my ideas, and so that's where I'm looking. And if you guys have any suggestions for cameras, leave them down in the comments below. If you're interested to see what thing I do next with a camera, filmmaking wise, leave a like, consider subscribing, go check out the variety of other things that I do. There's probably going to be, I don't know what's next. Well, I have a few projects that I'm editing. There's definitely going to be a bunch more Minecraft and other things like that until I have a chance to do my next film. But I definitely want a camera upgrade, and so, or also, if you guys know me and you have, you can contact me other than the comments down below. Get a hold of me however you can, and let me know what your opinion for a camera is, what kinds of things you like to look for, what your suggestion would be. I'll see you guys in whatever's next. Bye!